Cha-cha on the ballroom beat. You got two left feet. Get on the ballroom beat. They're dancing in the street. They're on the ballroom beat. We can tango, we can swing, we can do anything. Walking through the door and waltz on the floor. You wanna feel the heat? Get on the ballroom beat. Cha-cha on the ballroom beat. Foxtrot on the ballroom beat. Salsa on the ballroom beat. Cha-cha on the ballroom beat.
Good evening and welcome to On the Ballroom Beat. I'm your host, Lania Berger, and tonight we're going to be talking all about the Orlando International Fringe Festival that is happening in the Lock Haven Park over in Orlando, Florida, going through this weekend all the way up until May 30th. Now, you may notice that I've got a cute little Victorian steampunk hat on. That is intentional because today my special guests are from Phantasmagoria, Orlando. Please welcome via Skype, this is DiDonna, the creator, writer, and director of Phantasmagoria Orlando, and Dion Leonhard, one of the choreographers, the lead dancer, a fire eater, an aerialist, all sorts of different things, and a social media guru from the show. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. It's fun to be here through Skype.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
It's great to have you. I saw your show this past weekend, Phantasmagoria, Wickeder Little Tales, and just thought it was out of this world. So excited to get to know a little bit about the background of Phantasmagoria Orlando. Now, you actually created it, correct, John?
Yes, that is true.
And
yes, about 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Can you tell us a little bit about what gave you the ideas and how this came to be?
Sure. Well, it had been kind of stewing in my head for about 25 years, actually. I always wanted to have some kind of a horror circus, but I didn't know what that meant yet. So over the years, I would go over some ideas and brainstorm, but it wasn't quite there yet. And one summer, I used to go up to Atlanta and teach every summer. I saw a couple of different events that kind of put it all together for me, and I decided to set it in one of my favorite time periods, the Victorian time period. Didn't even know what steampunk was back then. And create this sort of storytelling, gypsy, roving circus troupe that brought horror stories to life. We tried it 1 year for Halloween at the Orlando Shakespeare and ended up selling out the entire run, and deciding that we're going to try it every year, but every year we will do a completely new show. So the troupe slowly grew over those years.
And so you're a Victorian literature buff, it sounds like.
I love it. Well, I'm a horror buff, period.
Okay.
I like the gore, absolutely, but my heart lies in the old Universal horror movies and in Edgar Allan Poe and in chilling ghost stories. That's kind of where my own fears live.
Okay. Now, I also happen to hear that you just finished your first tour. Is that right?
Yes. We just came back from Baltimore, and we had also gone to Atlanta and a lot of different places around Central Florida with it. We decided to start expanding, and it went very well. It's so weird that everywhere we go, it kind of taps into the audience. When we went to Atlanta, opening night was funny because we were all backstage and we were all holding hands. And I said to them, now listen, guys, nobody may be here. Please understand that. Nobody knows who we are. Let's just go out there and have a fun time. And we were completely sold out. And by the last show, there were people sitting in the aisles and on the side. So it was really kind of incredible.
Well, listen, what you guys do, you do so well. And Dion, you're a big part of that. Can you talk a little bit about your role with the company?
Well, I kind of wear a few different hats. I am the lead dancer. I am the only dancer, actually, who you will always see me in my point shoes. We started wearing those in year 3, and it became my character. It was just, I feel naked without them. So I'm always in my point shoes. I help with the choreography. I've had the opportunity to choreograph a little. I love to fire perform a little too much. It is a blast. And like you said, social media. I have a lot of fun running our Twitter pages and our Instagram pages. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And just having fun because it's a blast.
And Dion, for our viewers to find you on social media, can you tell us where they would need to go?
Of course, for Instagram, it's going to be at Phantasmagoria Orlando. And then on Twitter, we're at Phantaz Orlando. We were one letter away from being able to get the whole Phantasmagoria Orlando. I sat there when I created it for hours trying to figure different versions out. And I lost the battle. So we are Phantaz Orlando.
And on Facebook, we're facebook.com Phantasmagoria Orlando.
Okay, perfect. So folks can then, of course, see what you do and also find out about where you're going to be.
Yes. Yeah, we do a lot of appearances. It's about year 3 is when we started getting booked. Originally, it was just a 1-month-a-year show, and now we are 12 months a year. We have multiple gigs every single month, and forget about October, because not only are we doing our regular show at the Lounge Shakespeare, but we have about 30 gigs that we do around that throughout the month of October.
We did a Christmas party this year.
Yeah, a Christmas party.
Really?
Which was amazing.
Okay, what story did you use for the Christmas party? I'm so curious.
For one of them, we actually did 2. For one of them, we wrote a Krampus story.
Yes.
So your German, the Krampus, we did that and brought that to life.
Yep.
And that was one of the stories. A number of our stories we have to actually create. So we take like a legend from literature, but there's nothing written about it. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to create it yourself. So we did that with Krampus, and then the other one, just some down and dirty fire dancing.
Yep.
Nothing says Christmas like that. That's really, really cool. Now, the show that is happening at the Orlando Fringe Festival, like I said, is Wickeder Little Tales. And was that created specifically for the Fringe Festival?
Yes, this is its premiere. It did not open until the performance you saw was the first ever public performance of it. We had a private performance the night before for some of the Order of Phantasmagoria. We have our own order, which is kind of scary. There are about 30 people who have truly supported us over the years, almost like a guild. So we had a few of them over to watch, but you saw the first public performance of this new incarnation ever.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is really cool. And James, we've got some images from the show so that we can sort of see them in action. And tell me, when you were creating this, does it follow a certain structure that you've used in the past? Is it totally unique for you?
Well, it definitely follows our structure. The story of Phantasmagoria, the October shows are a little different in that there's a wraparound story. About the second year we were doing it, someone said to me, just as an offhand comment, they said, you guys are kind of a graphic novel come to life. And I went, wow, I'm going to use that. There's a lot of richness in that. So when you come to see the October shows, there's actually a wraparound story that talks about the troupe. We actually have a comic book that's being done on us right now. So you get a little bit more. That's more the 90-minute show that you see. For Wicked Little Tales, which was our first touring show, it's kind of a best of show. So we go through and we take the best stories that we've done and the best dances, and then we redo them, meaning we reinvent them. Well, I go back in, I rewrite the stories with new things that we've learned. We restage them. So if you look at the new version of, let's say, Telltale Heart, it looks completely different from the first version of Telltale Heart we did. It's us evolving as a troupe over the years.
Incredible. And Telltale Heart is one of the shows, or one of the stories incorporated in the Phantasmagoria Wickeder Little Tales show by Edgar Allan Poe, of course. Other stories we see in the show. Can you tell us a little bit about the other 3 that you've included?
We have a lovely little children's tale called How the Children Played at Slaughtering. We're very proud of that one because it was in the original version of the Grimm Brothers' tales, and it was censored. It was actually taken out after the first time it was printed. And we did it, I think it was originally 5 years ago, and 2 years ago it was put back in the book. It hadn't been in the book for well over a century, which is kind of wonderful that we were able to do it. And then another one that we do is Sleepy Hollow. We did Sleepy Hollow in year 6, and it was a real popular one. We performed it as an extra piece up in Baltimore when we went there on tour, and the audiences loved it, so we brought that one back. And again, completely restaged with new people in it. And then Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's wonderful tale of a father and son, and that's really how we treat it, which we did in year 1, and we haven't touched that in 7 years. And she's dying over here. This will be in Phantasmagoria 7.
Okay,
but those are the stories we do this year.
Yes, and like John was saying, I actually was there and was very impressed with the way that you told those 4 stories. It was wonderful. I highly recommend the show to anybody who's in the area. Please go to the Orlando Fringe Festival and check out Phantasmagoria, Wickeder Little Tales. Let's talk about your upcoming shows that are happening at the Fringe Festival. So they are going to be coming up.
Let's see. We have, I'm checking myself to make sure.
Saturday?
We have this coming Saturday, which is the 28th at 7:30 p.m., and we're in the Orange venue of the Shakespeare Center. And our final show is Sunday, May 29th, which is a 9:30 p.m. show. So it's one of the final shows you can see at Orlando Fringe. On Thursday night, tomorrow night, we're actually doing a free show out on the lawn. Oh. So we'll be doing some of our fire dancing, and we'll have some special guests. We have a sword swallower. Her name is Vera Vermillion, and she's terrifying. I can't even watch her because what she does is very real. We have a wonderful magician, Spencer, who will be joining us. And we'll be doing one of the stories that we're not doing in this one called Captain Murderer, which is one of our signature tales. It's a Charles Dickens story.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I love Dickens. I'm a Victorian literature buff too, by the way, which is part of why I just love your work so very much. Listen, if you do want to get tickets, go to orlandofringe.org. It's a great place to find out where all the shows are happening and get your tickets so that you can be a part of Phantasmagoria. You also will want to get a Fringe button. That's very important for the Fringe Festival. And let's talk a little bit about the Fringe Festival for a moment and how you can be a part of it to our viewers out there. We have a video that's going to help you learn how to fringe. Check it out. Berger with On the Ballroom Beat, here at the 25th anniversary of the Orlando Fringe Festival. This is an international festival that is the longest running festival of this kind in the United States. And I'm here today to teach you how to fringe. So step number 1 for fringing. You've got to get yourself a fringe button. You'll see everybody around the festival wearing buttons like this.
You need to purchase a fringe button first. Basically, that's your admission to the fringe. And that will allow you into all the shows. Then you purchase tickets for each show.
I only need one button for the duration of the festival, and I need to make sure that I remember it every time I come, because otherwise I will not be let into the venue.
Wanted to remind patrons that there is no late entry after the show begins. Thank you.
Step 2. I need to get a ticket to a show. There are over 130 shows happening at the Orlando Fringe Festival this year. You can find the different shows that are happening in the programs that they have here. There's also a Fringe app that you can get online at orlandofringe.org, and the orlandosentinel.com also has lots of Fringe information so that you can find out about the shows. Do a little bit of research. There's a lot of great stuff going on, and you want to make sure that you see the best shows for you.
Zach Comedy Lab presents Peter Panish.
We are from Bella Copa.
Hey, we're the 11 o'clock number, the improvised musical.
Hello, I'm doing the Jupiter Rebellion.
No tweed too tight. Another Grant Canyon mystery.
Hey, I'm James E. Evans from the show 2 for Tea.
What you can expect to see when you come to Visual Fringe is all sorts of great art from local artists. All the art is for purchase, and all of the proceeds go directly to the artists. So when you support Visual Fringe, you're actually supporting local artists in our area to help them do their great art.
How do you research? Go to orlandosentinel.com. Matt Palm and his team of reviewers are reviewing most of the shows here at the festival. Step 3, get to a show. Make sure you come early. Parking is challenging. And if you do come extra early and you've got time to kill, there's always wonderful stuff going on out at the Fringe lawn. This is also a great way to find out about the best shows. You'll see the artists busking their shows. You'll also hear all of the different patrons talking about what was best.
Martin Dockery's show and John Patterson's show, Inescapable, was phenomenal.
2 for Tea was a lot of fun. My recommendation is sit down in the front.
I've seen 4 shows so far, and my favorite has been Figgy Pudding.
21 Chump Street is 15 minutes of amazement. Fruit Flies Like a Banana is great for anybody who likes music of any sort. Thomas Jefferson show about his relationship with his friend who was a slave is so mind-blowing.
So I'm on the lodge at Fringe, and I've been told to go see this show, and 2 for Tea, and something about a war. What was the war one?
Close Quarters.
Close Quarters, and something about 2 drag queens, Tanya and Taffy, and everybody's got great recommendations, and I'm going to see probably all of them if I can. But yeah, go see them all.
So when you get to your show, turn in your ticket, go on in and take step 4, soak it in. Soak it in and enjoy it. You're going to see all sorts of different fun things here at the Fringe Festival. Folks have come from all around the world.
Originally from Plymouth in the southwest of England.
We're from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
And we're from Orlando, Florida.
And we're here from Portland, Oregon.
Hope to see you here. This is Lania Berger from On the Ballroom Beat. Welcome back to On the Ballroom Beat. So as I said in the video package there, I am on the team of reviewers with Matt Palm, and we have reviewed over 100 shows so far. So if you are interested in reading some of those reviews to find out what's going to be best for you to see while you're fringing at the festival, please go to orlandosentinel.com. Every single review is posted there for you, and they are in alphabetical order, so it's easy to find. Again, that address is orlandosentinel.com, so that you can see the reviews for the Fringe Festival so far. For me, I wanted to share with you some of the best of the fest that I have seen so far, so take a look at some of the best shows of the festival so far. Phantasmagoria, of course, I've got them up there. Wickeder Little Tales, they are outstanding. This one is Trick Boxing. Dancing like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Acting is just absolutely on point. Space is suspenseful, thrilling, and exciting. It will really take you to another world. Thomas Jefferson, my master, my slave, my friend. Some of the finest acting I've seen. Edgar Allan, he's popular this season here. Edgar Allan's another great show that's going to really pull you in. And the Animatronicans is hysterical. Truly, truly funny, especially for Disney folks. Now, there are a lot of dance shows going on, and we are on the Ballroom Beat, so let's recognize some of the dance shows happening at the Orlando Fringe Festival. Another Brick in the Wall uses the soundtrack of Pink Floyd's album to set their story. On the Line takes us to Broadway. Some of the very best numbers that you have seen on stage happen right here and On the Line. Paint Chips goes through the different colors of the spectrum as contemporary dancers portray them, and El Amor Brujo is a flamenco show that is going to really, really knock your socks off. Shatter, Powerful Peace tells the story of a man questioning the choices he's made in life, told through dance. Definitely some great shows to see. 25 years of Fringe. Make sure that you check it out at the festival this weekend. It does run through May 30th, 2016. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take this quick break, and then we'll be back with John and Dion of Phantasmagoria Orlando.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just 1 or 2 options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex. Short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Welcome back to On the Ballroom Beat. Phantasmagoria creator John DiDonna and lead dancer Dion Leonhard are with us today. We're going to go ahead and, before we actually get back into our conversation, let's take a look at a video from their tour in Alpharetta, Georgia and beyond for Phantasmagoria Orlando Wicked Little Tales.
The stories
Once a story is chosen,
it must be told. By the pricking of my thumb. Blood, it calls. Blood, it calls.
Again, Phantasmagoria Orlando. And again with me today, John and Dion, welcome back from the break. So listen, it's so much fun to see the work that you do in its final stage, but can you talk to us about the creation of that, sort of the workshopping process?
Sure. For each large-scale show, it usually begins about a year out. I start searching up the stories that I'm going to use in the next year. So it's a lot of reading and going through things. The beautiful thing is we've just hired 2 dramaturges who are working with us to help find stories from the centuries. Sometimes we just fall into the stories by accident. There's one we did last year called The Surgeon's Warning that I found as a fragment in a medical textbook and then had to go search up the original version of it that appeared in the 1700s. And then I start breaking it up into the stories. Then we start figuring out what the dances are and what the narrative of the dances are going to be that kind of wrap around all of that. And then it's getting together, and we're constantly learning. We're constantly learning new stage combat moves. We're constantly learning new dance moves. We're constantly learning new fire, new aerials. So we're working together on a consistent basis. To the point, one of the things I mentioned to you that there were some things you said in your review that really spoke very highly to us. And that was talking about us moving as one, like one organism. I have a story that I like to tell about a tree. We built this really huge tree where the whole troupe became a tree, essentially, a 2-tiered tree. Wow. And we tried choreographing it, and it was like, well, this isn't working. And then Bill decided to step in and said, let me try. And that wasn't working. So finally, I just stood in the middle of everybody, and I said, okay, you're the roots, you're the trunk, you're up top, you're below, you're the, all these different things, become the tree. And they just went, boom, and became the tree. And that's because they work together so much that it's so easy to just kind of look at them and go, okay, guys, this is what we're doing. And they just do it. Some of us have been together for 7 years straight doing the show.
Wow. And, you can see it. You can see the synergy is incredible between all of you. And, James, we've got some images that we can have everyone take a look at right here of the company. And you do have a wonderful company. How many people are involved in total, John?
In total, between cast, crew, and designers, about 40, just a little over 40. Some people are just there for little things. They'll come in and do a mechanism or two. Some people are there the entire time, whether it's our stage management crew. In terms of the actors, what you saw on stage for this was about 2/3 of our actors, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, it was a really nice sized company. It filled the space. It was beautiful. And again, to have that connection between all of you, I mean, it was incredible. It was so, so beautiful to watch. Let me ask you this. When you do your script, some of the lines are spoken by one person. Sometimes it's the whole group. How do you write it that way, or does that sort of happen in workshop?
I write it that way. I definitely evolve it as we go. So the first incarnation of a script is just me taking one of these, wonderful old legends or stories from centuries ago and editing it, figuring out what's the initial through line of the story. Then I'll break it up into first 3 voices just to see how it sounds. Then I will look, where's the theme? Where's the running theme? Where's the elements that are pushing the characters? And that's where I'll create some of those echoes that you hear or those joint lines that we do. And then we'll read it. And then after that, I'll go back in and edit it again based on our characters. Because there's certain lines that Byron would say, certain lines that Rowan would say based on our characters, certain lines that Sarah would say, and most especially Alice, who's very different than any of the others of us, certain lines Alice would say. So I kind of redistribute the lines then. And then from there, the character interrelationships develop. So it is a multi-tiered process of creating the scripts.
Okay, very interesting. And we have a little bit of video of some backstage footage of you all putting together a show.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so if we can take a look at that, James, if you can pull that up. And it's so interesting to see in this workshop fashion where you're in a dance studio and it's choreography, it's dance practice, but you're using your voices as well.
Yes. Yep. And that's one of the things that Mila, who's our main choreographer, she said once in an interview, we were doing a documentary, and she said, it's scary because we're dancers. Right. And now we have to talk. So that frightens some dancers. And trust me, I'm an actor. I don't dance. It frightens me to have to dance. So we kind of cross those boundaries together.
Yes.
Well, and then there's always the actors know to get out of the way of the dancers. Because as you see, we're all on the floor at the same time, and there are certain moments where the dancers just have to do their choreography, and the actors have to slowly back out of the way to make sure they don't get kicked.
Yes.
And I'll tell you something that you might find interesting from a patron's perspective. I felt that everybody spoke and everybody danced. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
We're right.
We forced that.
Yes.
We forced that. We have actually scared people away with that.
Yep.
We've had these wonderful dancers who have auditioned for and gotten cast in the troupe, and then they walk into the first rehearsal and go, I don't speak. And we're like, yes, you do here. And they're like, okay, I'm gone. And they disappear because they're terrified of doing that. And we have actors, myself, I'm terrified of dancing. So every time it comes, it's the thing that frightens me the most, but we have to learn it. No, I'm passable.
And so when does the choreography start to come into the script?
Oh, right from the start.
Okay.
From the start. Mila is one of my main collaborators. The main collaborators of it, the core, are myself and Bill Warner, who is our stage combat individual. He's our director who does that. Mila Makarova, who is our main choreographer. And then on top of that, we have Seth Kubersky, who's one of the directors. We have Kevin Becker, who's one of the directors. And we have additional directors. So we have a huge team that helps sculpt this. Chris Pruitt, who plays Cyril, is one of our additional directors. And so even before the scripts are given into the hands of the actors, Mila is starting to have her say on the choreography. We have to do it that way.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what's next? What's upcoming for Phantasmagoria Orlando?
We have a touring show. This particular one you saw, we're bringing a larger version of it to Ocala in July. Right after we do it in Ocala, we're doing it in Eustis. So we go 2 different weeks. We're doing performances for audiences who have probably never seen us. We have between now and September, I'd say we have about 20 appearances, where it could be anything from doing a children's show, because we do children's shows as well, to just making an appearance in terms of like a hosting type appearance, or doing full-on fire dancing, that kind of a thing. And then we start rehearsals for Phantasmagoria 7. This year is called The Cards They Are Dealt. And it surrounds a character that you haven't seen yet, the character of Isabella, who is a witch. And she kind of leads us through the stories by doing the tarot. So that is kind of the through line of this next story, and it's actually set in a distant time. It's set in the late 1700s, so we're going backwards in time for the second time as a troupe.
Cool.
We go because we've existed since the dawn of time, according to our history.
I see.
So we're going to be playing in 1788, and then come October, like I mentioned, is where we're swamped because we have 30 appearances already booked, and we haven't even, begun the season yet. We help to host the Orlando Zombie Ball. We do that every year. We also help to host Renneger's Steampunk Days, which they do for a whole weekend during October. We're looking at collaborations with other theaters in town who have asked us to have mini troupes available to them. So we're actually casting new troupe members to go do those shows. So it's busy time for Phantasmagoria.
Congratulations. That is a wonderful, wonderful bit of information. You guys are very, very busy. I know that we're very limited on time. James is probably watching that clock tick away, but I do want to ask quickly, Dion, can you talk a little bit about the characters that everybody has? Because this is a very serious part of your company.
It is. And actually the characters came into being really not until year 3, believe it or not. Year 2, we were actually given the opportunity to come up with a name for our characters. And then year 3 is really when we started discovering who those characters are. And personally, for me, Simarine's character has actually evolved a lot just in the past 2 years. It's almost, we're finding, and I feel comfortable saying this for everybody in the cast, as we grow in our real lives, we grow as our characters. So it's really, there is a separation, but at the same time, there's not. So I'm a self-proclaimed dork, and the silliness is brought into my character of Simarine. She's always lighthearted. She can get into trouble and every once in a while. So it's definitely, you are your character to a certain extent.
About 2 years ago, one of our fans asked me a question that really took me aback because I didn't understand it at first. And then when I understood it, I went, oh my God, that makes so much sense. They said to me, we're confused by the show. Are you actors playing the troupe Phantasmagoria, or are you the troupe Phantasmagoria?
Yep.
And I went, oh my God, that's an amazing philosophical question. Yeah, we're both. The troupe is us. Byron is me. Simarine is her.
Exactly.
Alina is Mila. We, for example, one of our side stories now, Pandora, the character who you saw, the young lady who plays the cello, she is off in search of Byron, who died in one of the shows, went to the underworld. And the reason we're doing that is because Pandora takes her own journey. She's going away to college. She's been with us for 7 years. Now she goes to college. She'll be gone for 3 years. So we've sent Pandora off on her journey. And when she gets out of college, she will return to the troupe.
Very, very, very cool. Listen, John, Dion, thank you so much for joining me on the Ballroom Beat today. It has been a delight seeing your show, talking to you, getting to know Phantasmagoria Orlando even better, and I look forward to more interaction with you in the future, as I will certainly be a patron of your future shows.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful to be here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again for coming. And to our viewers, I have to update you quickly. Something huge happened on ABC last night. The Mirror Ball winner of Dancing with the Stars Season 22 was announced. As you know, the top 3 couples competed for your votes. They were Ginger and Val, Paige and Mark, and Niall and Peta. And congratulations to Niall and Peta, who were the Season 22 winners of Dancing with the Stars. They are the newest recipients of that Mirror Ball trophy. As you may recall, Niall DeMarco is the first deaf dancer to win Dancing with the Stars. A big congratulations to him and Peta. Now make sure that you tune in next week. We will be here again streaming live at 5:30 through WeBeamTV.com, and we will be doing a special episode about the Arthur's Interns program that is happening right now at the Arthur Murray Ballroom Dance Studio in Palm Harbor, Florida. We'll look forward to seeing you next week on the Ballroom Beat.
Cha-cha on the ballroom beat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cha-cha on the ballroom beat. You got 2 left feet. Get on the ballroom beat. They're dancing in the street. They're on the ballroom beat. We can tango, we can swing, we can do anything. Walking through the door and waltz on the floor. You wanna feel the heat? Get on the ballroom beat. Cha-cha on the ballroom beat. Foxtrot on the ballroom beat. Salsa on the ballroom beat.